Imagine a digital heist of epic proportions, 50,000 bitcoins, pilfered from the infamous dark web marketplace, the Silk Road. An audacious theft that sent shockwaves through the cryptosphere. It was the year 2012, the Wild West of the digital age. Bitcoin, the new kid on the block, was making waves, and the Silk Road was its most notorious playground. The Silk Road was a dark web marketplace, a veritable digital den of iniquity. It was where the world's shadowy figures came to trade in everything from illicit substances to stolen data. And it was here that a daring heist took place, one that would baffle even the most astute investigators for years to come. In the blink of an eye, 50,000 bitcoins vanished into the ether. At the time, this was a substantial sum, but as the years rolled on and Bitcoin's value skyrocketed, this audacious theft transformed into a fortune of over $3 billion. A fortune that seemingly disappeared without a trace. The magnitude of this theft was monumental, but the mystery that surrounded it was even more intriguing. Who was audacious enough to pull off such a heist? How did they do it? And where did the stolen bitcoins end up? These questions haunted the world of cryptocurrency for years. The identity of the thief was as elusive as a wisp of smoke, slipping through the fingers of investigators around the globe. The stolen bitcoins were never recovered, and the case went cold, becoming one of the most tantalizing enigmas in the history of cryptocurrency. And yet, the most intriguing part of this tale is not the heist itself, but the aftermath. It's a story of hubris, of a criminal who thought they could outsmart an entire world. A story of how for almost a decade they succeeded. The identity of the thief remained shrouded in mystery for almost a decade, but every mystery is destined to unravel. The stage is set, the players are in position. Let's delve into the great Bitcoin heist and the trail that led to its eventual resolution. In the world of digital footprints, criminals can hide, but they can't completely disappear. After the great Bitcoin heist of 2012, the thief seemed to vanish into thin air. The world of cryptocurrency was shaken to its core, with 50,000 bitcoins gone, just like that, from the Silk Road. Over time, the value of these stolen bitcoins skyrocketed, reaching an astonishing sum of more than $3 billion. It became a notorious mystery, a puzzle that seemed impossible to solve. In the aftermath of the theft, investigators were left grappling with a trail that was as elusive as a wisp of smoke. They were up against the anonymous nature of Bitcoin transactions, a feature that is both a boon and a bane. It offers privacy to users, but it also provides a perfect cover for those with nefarious intentions. For the thief, this anonymity was a cloak of invisibility, a shield that kept them hidden from the prying eyes of the law. The investigators were not deterred. They knew that in the digital world, nothing ever truly disappears. Each transaction, each movement of Bitcoin, leaves a trace. Like detectives sifting through the remnants of a fire, they meticulously combed through the blockchain, looking for any clues that could lead them to the thief. But the trail went cold. The 50,000 stolen bitcoins seemed to have vanished, swallowed by the vast, untraceable expanse of the digital universe. It was like searching for a single star in an infinite galaxy. The task was daunting, but the investigators were relentless. They were determined to bring the thief to justice, to solve the riddle that had been haunting the world of cryptocurrency for years. Years passed with no breakthrough. The trail remained cold, but the resolve of the investigators never waned. They understood that patience was their ally. They knew that even the most careful criminals slip up eventually, and so they waited, their eyes forever trained on the horizon, ready to pounce at the first sign of a mistake. Despite the dead ends and cold trails, the investigators never gave up. Little did they know a critical mistake was waiting to happen. In a world of perfect crimes, one slip is all it takes to bring everything crashing down. Almost a decade after the grand Bitcoin heist, the thief was still at large, having successfully evaded the keen eyes of the IRS-CI, the premier agency that investigates financial crimes. But even the most meticulous of criminals are not impervious to mistakes, and it was one such critical mistake that set the wheels of justice in motion once again. Picture this. It's a regular day in the world of cryptocurrency. The stolen bitcoins, now worth over $3 billion, had been laying dormant, untouched, almost forgotten. Then, out of the blue, there was a stir. A small fraction of the stolen bitcoins was moved. It was an insignificant amount, a mere drop in the ocean of the thief's digital wealth. But it was enough. Enough to alert the vigilant eyes of the IRS-CI. This unexpected activity was the critical mistake that breathed new life into the cold case. The thief, perhaps grown complacent over the years, had left a digital footprint. This transaction, seemingly insignificant, was the breakthrough the IRS CI needed to renew their investigation. You see, every Bitcoin transaction leaves a trace on the blockchain, a digital ledger that records all transactions made with cryptocurrencies. The thief had been careful, oh so careful, to avoid detection. But this one transaction, this one critical mistake, was a beacon, a signal that screamed, "I'm here!" With renewed vigor, the IRS CI dove back into the case. The investigators began to connect the dots, tracing the pathway of the transaction, analyzing the blockchain like a team of digital archaeologists unearthing an ancient civilization. The thief, once the puppet master pulling the strings from the shadows, had become the puppet. Unknowingly, they had provided the IRS CI with a roadmap, a guide to their hidden wealth. It was a race against time. The thief was on the move and the IRS CI was hot on their trail. A single mistake was all it took. The net was closing in. In the shadows of anonymity, a face was about to emerge. For years, the identity of the mastermind behind the grand Bitcoin heist had remained a mystery. The stolen 50,000 Bitcoin, a digital fortune now worth well over $3 billion, was a constant reminder of the audacious theft. But, in the vast, unregulated wilderness of the cryptocurrency market, it was like looking for a needle in a haystack. However, an unexpected twist was to come. The thief made a critical mistake, a slip-up that would finally lead investigators to the face behind the heist. The IRS Criminal Investigation, the federal agency with a knack for tracking digital breadcrumbs, was about to crack one of the biggest mysteries in the world of cryptocurrency. So, who was this elusive character? Enter Jimmy Zhong, a name that was about to send shockwaves across the crypto world. But how did the investigators zero in on Zhong? Well, CNBC, the global news giant, played a crucial role in this thrilling saga. They managed to obtain never-before-seen footage that would provide the missing link in the puzzle. This footage, a silent witness to the crime, held the key to unmasking the thief. It was like a jigsaw puzzle, each piece meticulously fitted together, leading to a picture that no one had foreseen. The footage was a digital roadmap that traced the path right to Zhong. It was undeniable evidence that linked him to the multi-billion-dollar heist. And just like that, the faceless thief had a face. The shadows of anonymity had been lifted, and standing in the spotlight was Jimmy Zhong. It was a moment of triumph for the investigators, a moment of revelation for the crypto world, and a moment of reckoning for Zhong. The face behind the billion-dollar heist was finally revealed. But what was the story of Jimmy Zhong? Behind every crime, there's a story waiting to be told. And at the heart of this grand Bitcoin heist lies the tale of Jimmy Zhong, a man whose life was as complex and intriguing as the crime he committed. Jimmy was not your typical criminal mastermind. Born and raised in a small town, he was known for his quiet demeanor and prodigious intellect. His fascination with technology began at an early age, and it was this passion that led him to the world of cryptocurrencies. However, like many, he was lured by the promise of easy money and the thrill of the dark web. The Silk Road, an infamous online marketplace, became his playground where he honed his skills in hacking and deception. It was here that he orchestrated one of the most audacious crimes in the history of cryptocurrency, the theft of 50,000 bitcoins, a sum that would eventually be worth over $3 billion. But what led Jimmy to this path of crime? Some say it was desperation, others claim it was greed, but at its core, it was a tale of ambition gone awry. Jimmy yearned for a life beyond the confines of his small town, a life of wealth and glamour that the world of Bitcoin promised. But as the saying goes, pride goes before a fall, and his ambition led him down a path from which there was no return. Almost a decade after the heist, Jimmy made a critical mistake that caught the attention of the IRS CI. His digital footprint, once thought to be untraceable, was unraveled, and the once faceless thief was unmasked. The mystery that had captivated the world of cryptocurrency for years was finally resolved. In the end, the great Bitcoin heist was more than just a mystery. It was a tale of ambition, deception, and a fall from grace. A tale that serves as a cautionary reminder of the dangerous allure of easy money and the inevitable consequences of a life lived on the wrong side of the law.